Hello students, I am Raman Gupta and I am back with the remaining part of the story Upper Division Love. So we are going to discuss the next point, the tragic scene. There in the film Fool Wali, the clerk was given the role of a pandit. The heroine was his favorite beloved Sundarbala, and Ramakant was playing the role of a hero. The scene was that Sundarbala had been dancing long in the forest, and a pandit or priest came and snatched away the necklace from her neck. When the scene was ready, the clerk could not pull the necklace easily. He used all his strength to snatch the necklace, and it hurts Sundarbala's neck. She got very angry. Ramakant, the hero, came to rescue. Anyhow, the fatty director heard the situation. It was a natural mistake, but the clerk had to pay for it. It was not the mistake of clerk, but due to some technical problem, he had to pay for everything. His impression on Sundarbala was became bad. The blow of the clerk. The next point. Because of the snatching scene, Sundarbala was angry with the clerk. She told all her affair of the one sided love of the clerk. Ramakant was also angry. He wanted to teach him a lesson. So the scene was resigned. This time the necklace was easily pulled up. Ramakant came to rescue, caught hold of the clerk, and crashed his sight first into the clerk's chin. It was a heavy blow given by deliberately. The clerk could not compose himself and fell down straight away. The scene was so natural that the fatty director was very happy. By raising his salary to 20 rupees per day, the secret smile of Sundarbala, the heavy blow, and mocking gestures from Ramakant had opened the eyes of the clerk that a lower man or a man of lower standard or lower economic standard should never conceive higher desires. The next point is clerk's revenge. To take revenge is a natural thinking of man. This is a human tendency. But there are some people who don't exercise this kind of act. The clerk is a common man who has learnt the reality of upper division people. So he plans to do something to get revenge. Fortunately, he got. Unfortunately, in the next film, Ramakant was to play the role of a fugitive and the clerk of a police officer with the help of Santokh Singh. They both friends could disturb the romance scene of Sundarbala and Ramakant at the time of shooting of that scene. Santokh Singh would pass that way with thundering sound of his motorcycle. It was the moment of relief and pleasure, both, for the clerk in this way. He was taking his revenge. The next point is revengeful action. Now it was time to shoot the scene related to Ramakant as a fugitive and the clerk as a police officer. After putting the fugitive in the van lockup, the clerk took the van on the road and continued racing it for an hour. He placed a board at the back of the van with letters in red ink: dangerous, lunatic, keep away. Then he took the van to the Bolera theatre, where Ramakant and Sundarbala was to attend the charity show. Sundarbala's seat by the side of was Sundarbala's seat was beside the minister in the charity show at Bolero Theatre was occupied by Sheelamati, who had her acting role at Ajeeb Film Studio behind the botanical gardens. In this way, the love story ended in the kind of mockery. The most important point of any novel is its plot. The simple story related to the division of love rather than the division of society deals with single plot to describe the temperament of both the societies, the upper division people and the lower division people. Events related to the story either revolves around Sundarbala or the clerk. There is no kind of complicacy to render the theme. It opens with a high aspiration of the clerk and ends with the revengeful action of the lower division people. The next point is the modern concept of love. Here in the story, we are told about the modern concept of love, that it depends upon physical charm, having no kind of intellectuality or spirituality. The clerk fell in love because of the charming beauty of Sundarbala, and within a short time he learned the reality of his own love. There in the story, the clerk makes no moan or wailing for negative attitude of his beloved, because he himself know what kind of love he conceived for her in his heart, like the lover of romantic age. The clerk makes no groaning. The next point is the situation, the mirror of two societies. The story deals with a natural situation in which there is nothing artificial to add and display. The actress Sundarbala represents the world of glamour. Public in general are still fond of the film star for her charming personalities and certain kind of lifestyle. The clerk here in the story represents the natural class of fans. This kind of one sided love, as we know, is everywhere today in this world. Throughout the story, each of the events happen one by one as it is happening there in some real story. The last point of discussion is conclusion. How can we conclude this story? The central characters of the story revolves around the clerk and the beautiful heroine. The lower division clerk fosters high division in his heart. The fruit of his aspiration wants to touch the height of the sky, but very soon he has to close his wings. The simple dialogues of the story also reflect the well prepared and exercised artificial throughout the story, which teaches us that we should aspire that is within our reach. In other words, the common man should always behave like a common man. A little man should have little hope and aspiration. The barricades of the division of the society have set some kind of norms which can't be overlooked or ignored easily. The revenge of the clerk reflects the jealousy between both the classes, and it is such kind of gap that cannot be fulfilled. In this way, the story is both moral and amusing. So, the story here ends, and this was a detailed explanation of the story. I hope you have got the story well, prepare it well, and we'll meet in the next video with some another story or essay or some other topic. If you like this video, please share it with your classmates and with your friends. And if you don't like, tell me. Thank you and have a nice day.